Hi, friends. It's a new year, and I have not been very active on my Becoming Stronger work, but I'm feeling inspired and thought I would take a stab at making my first vlog. So this is not glamorous, and I'm still in my office. It's about 7:30 tonight, and thought I would just, while I've got the ambition, go ahead and shoot this video for any of those who might be interested. So I just posted about my word for 2019 being prepare. And one of the biggest things I've struggled with over the last, 15, 20 years is time management and getting tasks done. Procrastination seems to be one of my middle names sometimes. So I'm resolving, even though this is cliche and it's January 2nd or 3rd, I don't even know what date, January 2nd when I'm shooting this, of 2019, I'm resolving to do some things to change that. So one of the things I invested in, and I'll turn the camera around here so you can see, maybe. I guess I can't. Well, let's do this another way. One of the things I invested in is called the Define My Day Planner. So what I really like about this is it walks you through different activities you can do that will help you focus. So first they encourage you to list affirmations. Then they list you or encourage you to look at your monthly goals, envision your ideal day. Let's see. Then set weekly milestones, and then every week, so this is set up in a monthly format. Every week you have a to-do list and then a daily page like this one for every day. What I really enjoy about the daily pages is it narrows you to 3 priorities. And then it gives you a space to list the different tasks, as well as, what you appreciate, what you're going to avoid so you can be more successful, what you are going to enjoy on that day, and a theme for that day. At the end of every day, then you have a review. So tomorrow I'll improve, and I'm looking forward to are things that you can jot down. The other thing that I spent time doing today was looking at different ways to schedule my time. And I went back to the idea of block scheduling. So I started with page 2 of this, the My Ideal Day, and just literally started listing out in an ideal day, which this is not the perfect plan, and I know that it's going to change, but what would I want to accomplish? And what kind of routines or structure do I need to put in place to help me accomplish those things? So in the timeline to the left, you schedule wake and bedtime, daily obligations, your reviews, your meals, and priority time. Everything else then is secondary. So those top of 5 events are the most important to develop a good routine, and they say to protect these time blocks for interruption and distraction. Everything else then gets scheduled around those times, like exercise, family, friend time, your to-dos, leisure, etc. So I started with this, thinking about a preparation block and thinking about blocks of time as 3-hour chunks. So if we go back to high school, college, things were structured out for us. We went to class, we were focused on, let's say, sociology for that hour, hour and a half. You didn't think about other things, hopefully, right? And then the bell rings, you move on, you go to the next class. And our time was focused and our schedules were structured. Then all of a sudden we graduate and we are put in charge of our own schedule. Unfortunately, none of us were probably taught, at least myself, I wasn't taught how to schedule my time to be effective and efficient. So it's a skill set I've learned that I need to acquire. And 2019 is going to be the year that I hopefully master what that looks like for me. Full disclosure, I worked with a productivity coach about 4 years ago. My boss at the time recognized that I was struggling with time management. Little did we know at the time, I was also undiagnosed with anxiety. So since that time, I've been journeying with a therapist. I'm now medicated on a low dose of sertraline, and by getting my headspace right, I've been able to then have the space in my head to focus on things that were struggles in the past. So, for example, time management and scheduling. So I now I'm going to focus on putting the tools in place to help manage my schedule even more. So then I'll turn to my calendar, because then in Outlook, what I was able to do is chunk out what my ideal day would look like. And then, knowing that that would be too vague, I went in and was more specific. So I started with, what time do I want to get up in the morning, knowing I need, for myself, I need 7 to 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours of sleep, but I'm going to try to get, on average, 7 to 8 hours, which means then I have to go to bed at the same time every day. So I plugged my bedtime in first, counted backwards, and decided that I'm going to try putting this out here on Facebook right now so you can hold me accountable. I'm going to try to rise and shine at 5:30. Give myself an hour to, get prepared for my day, shower, etc. And then I have found I really do well when I can have an hour of time at home, whether that's eating breakfast in a leisurely manner and reading, an article or a book that I haven't had time to get to. Literally just sitting with my cats and having, meditation or thinking time. When I don't get that time, I'm rushed and I'm crazy and I'm off kilter with my schedule for the rest of the day. And typically it spirals and snowballs into the rest of the week. So it was helpful. I have found it helpful. And in order to stay to that, I'm actually committing time in my schedule. So I'm going to turn this around, and it's obviously going to be a little bit backwards, but I'm hoping that maybe you can kind of see the different color schemes I have going on, if nothing else. So green I have designated as personal time and travel, or I work in higher education, so anytime I have a meeting off campus, since I'm a community engagement professional, visually being able to see that triggers in my brain, hey, you've got something coming up that's going to require you to commute or have a little bit of travel time. So the reason I kept personal in green as the same color is oftentimes a lot of my personal obligations are off campus. So just figured that would be easier visually to keep those in the same. The darker gray then is preparation commitments I've made to myself. So either time I'm going to block to prepare things or focus, and then I will fill those in on a daily basis using my planner with what those tasks actually are every day that I'm going to accomplish during that time. Anything that is dark blue is a meeting that I have scheduled with at least one other person. So that typically means I'm not able to move that time. It's not flexible. Because it's going to require someone else changing their schedule as well. In the blue and the green, when you see the purple line on the left, that means it's a meeting that's actually been scheduled outside of my office, which tells me, hey, you're going to need to travel. It's about 7 minutes from my office to our student center. So if I have a meeting there, I know I need to give myself 7 minutes to leave. So that purple is going to help trigger that in my brain. And then finally, the purple is workout time. I know that I am my best self when I can work out on a regular basis and get my serotonin and norepinephrine and oxytocin, all those chemicals in our brain, dopamine, those are re-energized when I work out. And I'm eating healthy. So I have to commit that time in my calendar and stick to it. So I've planned out for at least this next couple of months I'm planning to go to the classes on campus over the lunch hour, and committing my lunchtime to working out and moving a little bit more. The white, then, what was left in the schedule is open time that I will fill with tasks from my planner, but it allows a little bit of flexibility because since I am a community engagement professional and in a role in which I play a consulting role quite a bit, I need flexibility to schedule meetings with others when it's convenient for them more than it is convenient for me. So those times will be flexible, but I'm going to try to commit 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour again in the afternoon every day. Once again, recognizing this is flexible and will change, but to focus time where I set aside my email. Well, I'm gonna only check email once to twice a day. That's a whole nother probably vlog in and of itself. But check out a book called Never Check Email in the Morning. It's by Julie Morgensen. It's actually 12 years old now, and at the time was kind of this revolutionary concept. But I think it's even more valuable and important today, given we're connected all the time through social media and our phones and whatnot. So the principles that 12 years ago we only thought applied to email actually apply to, all of our plugged in technology. So really good resource there. I recommend if you're interested. So, but back to the chunks of 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, hoping that that's time just literally to set aside and get into a project. I'm sure many of you can relate. You get started with a project and then something happens and you never get back to it. Or I don't set aside enough time, and so then I never feel like I can have that time to strategically plan or work on a grant or these larger things that are going to take time. And so I'm forcing myself to actually schedule that focus time into the calendar. Email then is scheduled as well, and I'm hoping that every day I can do a daily wrap up, which would be another time to check email, prep tasks for the day, change or alter my schedule or plan depending on what I did or didn't get accomplished the day before. So anyways, if that's helpful, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, this is informal. I'm just winging it. But this is something I admire other people doing, which is sharing the tips and tricks that make them successful and helpful. So hopefully I can make more of these throughout the year and improve them as we go. So Happy New Year and best of luck accomplishing your goals this year.